Hello, 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 friends, and welcome back to day 19. Okay, so welcome back. Let me get my setup going. I am on IG. If you're not there, you can join me there. If not, you're watching me on YouTube. Welcome, just lovely Lace. Thank you for joining. Welcome, welcome. Right on time. It's like 6 o'clock. Perfect. I am live right here, and I am on Instagram, but also on my YouTube channel at SMM Realty Group, living in Montgomery, Alabama. So definitely go over there and check me out. Subscribe to my channel if you're able to. But let me know how your day is going. It is Monday. It is President's Day. So hopefully you were able to have the day off, relax. I did. But as a business owner, you get to choose your days off. Okay. But the kids were out of school. Um, but yes, let me know how things are going for you today. And today, I'm going to be sharing with you again some additional tips when it comes to home buying, especially if you're looking to purchase your first home or your next home. That is how I support you. But welcome in. Let me know where you're joining from. I am Shevvymac, and welcome to my space. I'm a retired Air Force veteran after 22 plus years serving in the United States Air Force. Yes. And now I have two businesses. But on this channel, we're going to talk all things real estate. So if you are in the Montgomery and surrounding area, and I can definitely support you in buying your first home or your next home. So if you are in the Montgomery and the surrounding areas, I'm here to help you purchase your first or your next home with ease and with confidence, because I'm not here just to help you buy the home, but making sure that you are educated to make the best choice for you and your family. Okay, so today I want to talk about a special program. Okay, if you are not aware of this program is for individuals who are in essential work environment. So this is called the Good Neighbor Next Door program. Okay, if you've heard of this before, drop a one in the chat. If you've heard of this before, drop a one. If you have not, and this is your first time hearing about the Good Neighbor Next Door, drop a two in the chat, friend. I want this to be interactive because as an educator, by heart, I want to make sure that you're just not only learning, but you're actually like, oh, I was not aware of that. And I want to make this very interactive. So let me know in the chat. Okay, two, yes. And a lot of people have not heard of this program. And for me, I did not hear about this program until I became a realtor. So this is why it's important for you to hire a realtor who's going to educate you with all the different benefits that you can receive as a first-time home buyer or someone who's looking to purchase his or her next home. And that is what I'm here to do. So the Good Neighbor Next Door program, this is a program that is provided by the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, so HUD. So this is the program provided by HUD, and my nose is running. And I'm going to share with you who all is qualified for this program, the requirements, and how you can go about applying for this program. So this is a program, like I said, is to help individuals who are looking to purchase their first home or their next home. But in order to be qualified, you have to fall into these specific categories: essential workers. So for example, if you are in law enforcement, so if you're an officer, a police officer, you work for the state, the government, federal, whichever level that you're at, you are qualified. But in order to be qualified, you have to be a full-time employee. So that is the catch. You have to be a full-time employee. So whether you're a law enforcement officer, a teacher, so a teacher not in college, but a teacher who is in the school system and teaching pre-K, so pre-kindergarten to 12th grade. So again, there's a limitation. So if you are a teacher in college, this is not for you. You're not qualified for this program. If you're a teacher in high school, middle school, elementary school, and you are there full-time, not part-time, not a substitute teacher, then you are qualified. The key thing is you have to be full-time. If you're a firefighter, emergency medical technician, you are qualified. But again, you have to be full time. And the one thing that we have to remember, like with these programs, yes, they're great programs, but there's always stipulations, there's always requirements in place, because again, they want to make sure certain individuals who are not able to get specific loans and so forth have an opportunity to own their home. And this is one of those programs, which is provided by HUD, which is the urban development, the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Okay. So those are the requirements of who all is eligible for this specific program. And again, it's if you're a law enforcement individual, full-time, a teacher full-time from kindergarten through 12th grade, you are a firefighter or a medical technician, again, essential individuals. And this is for housing in areas that needs to be revitalized. So that is the key thing here. So listen to this. This is for houses that are located in areas that are being revitalized. So revitalization, so if you think of a neighborhood in a city and it needs to be revitalized, which is something that is determined by the government to say, hey, this specific area, FHA, it's like, hey, this area is zoned as a place to be revitalized, but also individuals who are in this category of individuals can apply for certain houses in this specific area. And also, it has to be in your state. Okay, so it has to be in your state. And one thing, well, there's a lot of benefits. So if you are that person, if you're like, hey, I'm okay moving to this specific neighborhood, and also the catch, you have to work in that community. So you have to be located in that community where the house is located. So you have to be in that community. But the good thing is, if you decide to move forward with this application, when you apply, you have 7 days to, after you register, you have 7 days to bid on a home. The good thing is those houses are already discounted because some of them may be foreclosures. And say, for example, if the house is at $50,000 or $75,000, you get to pay only 50% of that home. Did you hear me? So you are getting like a steep discount, but more than likely there's probably renovation or something that has to be done with that home as well. Because again, they're going to be in areas where that community is being revitalized, which again would, if you think long term, you will be able to increase the value of that home because it's going through a revitalization, the community overall. Okay. But the FHA is the one who determines which area needs to be revitalized. So keep that in mind. So criteria for the area, for that specific area to be known as, hey, this is the revitalization zone, goodness, is one, household income, home ownership rate, kind of like if it's a low percentage of people who actually own the homes. Again, this is part of the criteria to determine whether or not this specific community is going through that process. And also the FHA insure mortgage foreclosure activities. So again, what homes are available that are foreclosed on. Participant, again, is very simple. You will check with your state to see, okay, what are your requirements. But let me pause for a quick second. Just let me say, yeah, there's a lot of programs out there. I definitely research them weekly to see what things are available. Yes, and that's one thing about, if you have not purchased a home ever, and you are looking to make sure that you are able to get as many benefits as you can, in the sense of with your closing costs, with your down payments, with anything like you can find in your state, definitely, because it will help long term. And also you have to look at, okay, if this program applies to me as a police law enforcement officer, as a teacher, as a firefighter, or a medical technician, am I willing to live in this revitalization community, to own this home at a steep discount? And the catch is also is you have to live in this home for 3 years. So you have to be in the home for 3 consecutive years. So you can't just move in year 1 and then move out and then come back year 3. No, you have to be in the home for the full 3 years. And what they do to make sure that you are still in that home, they after you close out on the home, they will send you a letter each year for you to sign to verify that you are the homeowner, you are the person, individual living in the home. And if they don't get a response from you, then they will send someone out to your home to verify, because again, the first attempt is something, it's a letter that they mail to your home, and you just sign it and send it back to verify, yes, this is me, I'm still in the home. But after 3 years, this is your home. You don't have to pay anything. So let me go back to the how you can participate in this program, and be eligible for that, besides just listing those essential workers. So one, check your state listing, and then just follow the instructions, very simple instructions to apply to register. Again, you have to be a full-time employee, okay, not part-time. And another thing that you have to do is to sign a second mortgage. And this is just this is just like the fallback. For example, like I shared, you have to be in the home for 3 years. So if you decide to move out of the house by year 2, then you have to completely pay off, you have the second mortgage. But if you go through the full 3 years, then that second mortgage is waived. You're not paying on the mortgage, the second one. You're just it's just in silent mode, from what I've learned, and it just sits there. But if you decide to move out and abandon the house, then you are still entitled to pay that additional second mortgage. So, but if you are that person like, hey, I'm okay with moving into this home and paying $25,000 or $75,000 compared to paying $3,000 for a home, and I can stay there for 3 years, and I'm only paying 50% of what this house is listed for, then if you have the capacity and the time to do some work on it, definitely it's a benefit. Because again, if you're revitalizing a community, what's going to happen? The value of homes and all other things will increase over time. So in 3 years, yes, you should see increase in the home. I'm not saying that it's guaranteed. Okay, so don't come for me, but I'm just saying realistically, you should see an increase, because as things are building up, the community is getting better, then definitely you should see a value in your home increasing. All right, Just Lovely Lace asks, what happens if you start off as the essential employee and get approved, but however, due to the economy, you lose your job for any of the many reasons? Reasons do they change your loan? That I'm not sure of for the answer, but I'm just going to summarize what I think would happen. I think as long as you communicate that with the organization, and they can see when you first apply that, hey, you were a full-time person. I think the biggest thing is when you apply and you meet all of the requirements, then, and everything falls through, you're good to go. But if you say lose your job, it's the process is already completed already. So right now, year 1 and year 2, year 3, you're just making payments on that mortgage. You're just closing out that loan. So all they're doing is verifying that, hey, you're still there. So I think as long as you have everything in place before that happens, then you're good to go. And what I've learned, when you register and you are eligible to purchase a home, you have 7 days. Okay, it's not like you have 30 days like someone who's looking like, hey, I can look forever. Like, you have 7 days to decide on the home that you want, because again, these homes are very low cost. You are spending only 50% of what the house actually is valued at or listed as. So you have 7 days to decide on the home that you would like to purchase in that revitalization community. But what I've learned, if there are multiple individuals looking to purchase that same home, what happens is it goes into a lottery. So if you have 20 people looking to purchase the same home, because again, that price is right, then it goes into a lottery, and then that lottery system picks the person for that specific home. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. And that's why you want to make sure that, hey, you already have a clue of what is it that you desire. Maybe you've gone through the neighborhood to see what's available, and now you have, based on what's available in the county that you're in, will let you know what you can afford and purchase. So I already talked about you sign a second mortgage slash note for the discount amount because, like I said, if the house is $100,000 and already getting 50% off, that means you're only going to finance 50% to where you have to pay, and then that other 50% is where you will have a second mortgage, but it does not incur any interest or anything. It's just kind of like a silent note, from what I've learned. It's called the silent second. As long as you fulfill the 3 years, it's non-existent. It's like they waive it and then they send you like, hey, you're no longer responsible for this second mortgage. Okay. And like I said, in order to continue to qualify to live in this home, they will certify that you live there every single year by just sending you a letter. You verify, and you send the letter back. But if you don't send the letter back, they will send someone to investigate to make sure that you're still there. If you're not there, then they'll go through the procedures to do what they need to do and reclaim the home. All right. Any questions for me on the Good Neighbor Next Door? This is a program that I've learned about since becoming a realtor, and definitely if you are a teacher, a firefighter, a medical technician, you are a police officer, you work in law enforcement, and you're like, hey, I want to buy this property in this community. It's all about revitalization. I am comfortable living here, and I can see this not only as just now, but also what is the long-term goal for this home? Because again, don't think of, okay, I'm going to be here forever, because no one usually buys a house like forever unless you're like in your 60s or 50s. It's like, hey, this is my forever home. But if you're like in your 30s or your early 20s, or this is your first home, more than likely you're buying it because, hey, this is something I've talked about for years, and I'm finally ready to move forward to have my first home. And this could be one opportunity and one way of how you can do such, which is owning your first home. Okay. So let me know if there are any questions. If there are no questions, that's okay, but you can drop in the chat #replay, and you can drop any question that you may have about the Good Neighbor Next Door. If you have questions about purchasing your first or your next home, definitely you can DM me. You can send me a simple message. I would love to hear from you. Any question that you may have. Or if you're like, hey, Shevvy, I am ready, you can just click the link and book a call. It's a free consultation, and I would love to connect with you. But yeah, so definitely remember, if you are in this special career, a special job, and you are full-time, then definitely you want to check out the Good Neighbor Next Door. Another thing that I don't know if I shared this, but you have to work and live in that community. So you can't be in, for example, Montgomery, and then go find a house in, Wetumpka. It has to match. So you have to work and live in that community, because again, it's all about developing the quality of that community, from the people who works there, the livelihood, the shopping, all the things. So keep that in mind. Okay. But I think this is a great program if you are like, hey, I'm ready to just buy the house. And then also you can look at this as a property that you're investing in. So in 3 years, you can use it as a rental property. So there's a lot of things that you want to consider before just kind of throwing this program out, but really think like, how can I utilize this to my best ability as a first-time home buyer, or as a person who falls into these categories? Okay. All right. Let me see if there's anything else from my notes that I want to share. I think that is it. Like, this is all the information. And again, you can go to the HUD.gov to get more details on this program if you choose to. And when you're ready to apply, just go to the website and apply and see if you're qualified. All right. If there are no other questions, I want to say thank you also for joining me. This is day 19 of me going live here on Instagram and on my YouTube channel at SMM Realty Group, living in Montgomery, Alabama. And if you would love for me to support you as your realtor to help you buy your first or next home in this year, in 2024, I invite you to reach out to me. I invite you to send me a DM, which is just send me a message so I can learn about you. and you can ask any questions that you may have. Okay. But yes, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys joining every single day. And don't forget to hashtag replay. And also, I'm going to be creating a guide, a first time home buyers guide. And if this is something that you would love to have, let me know in the chat, like, yes, guide. And I will definitely be reaching out to you so I can have this ready for you, so I can have it ready and give it to you. So, but I want to make sure that you are actually interested in this guide before I create it. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And as always, have an amazing day. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.